Welcome back, my fellow duplicants, to Oxygen Not Included. Today we're going to be taking a good look here at dracos, farming them up, shearing them down, and getting some nice useful things out of them, such as plastic. Alright, so if we take a look at dracos, we have two types. We have the standard Draco and then the Glossy Drecko. So the standard one here is going to give us reed fiber, good for building things such as carpet tiles or different outfits, useful for that stuff. But I think the one that's more useful is the Glossy Drecko. They're kind of rare, they're hard to find, but if you raise them on mealwood, you should get a higher chance of having a Glossy Drecko come into our base later on. Alright, so we can see what's going on here. Monk here is running the shearing station. So you can see, take your little Draco in there, and then voila! We get ourselves some reed fiber right there. Pretty nice. So if we run this game at what would be a normal speed, I should say, which is the fast speed, you can see that these dracos are pretty much on this island right here, so they can't actually get out. They just don't ever jump to the wall to the side. Now that was actually based on Yellow's kind of map design here, in that we could trap oxygen near the bottom so that the mealwood can grow, and then above that you can get the hydrogen that your dracos want to be inside. So when they're inside the hydrogen or their environment right there, you can see that their scale growth is going to go up. And it takes a little bit of oxygen inside of there to balance it out. We can take a look at trying to set this thing up later once I understand more what's going on down here. The idea though is that you pretty much have oxygen down on the bottom, just on the bottom, and then hydrogen up top. So you kind of balance the two. Because you only need oxygen down here. The dupes are gonna need, yeah, you guys need to spend some time on the hamster wheel. Come on, Fane. Oh, I have a new arrangement here for the Quality of Life 2 as far as my test lab is concerned. You can see we got the dupes in the middle there so that they can run off to do things. Then I have this entire environment out here. And then on the edge, there's void, so if we let gases free, they just kind of flow away. Okay, so to explain what I have going on here is I want to understand the difference between wild and tamed when it comes to dracos. So if I go to the room overlay, where are we at here? There we are. Both of these are stables, right? However, this one up top has a grooming station, so you can see the Draco inside of here, its wildness is going down because it is groomed, I should say. So it has a minus 50% per cycle. But down here, they're going to remain wild. So I just want to understand that difference. All right, so here's the first thing that I see. This stuff is just blooming here. And I think what I want to do is disable auto harvest for this stuff. Let's see here. You guys should be able to get to this. Maybe not. I guess not. Let's try this number. They'll want to come down here to eat, and then they'll go back up. If I take a look at the room overlay, we can make that a few tiles bigger now. If anything, this makes it easier to separate hydrogen and oxygen, actually. Yeah, see, there they go. Now they're getting a good meal out of it. And I don't think I need to disable auto harvest on that. I think I can actually enable it. You guys were telling me during a live stream the other day that it's 2.5 mealwoods per Draco. We'll have to see. Exactly. If I take a look at these dracos down here, I don't get any sort of indication of how much food they have here. But this one here, you can see, what do we have here? Minus 2,000 calories per cycle. Now in Yellow's post, he was saying that he keeps them overcrowded so that they stay a little glum, and therefore their metabolism is reduced. They still produce the same amount of plastic. I'll have to investigate that to see just how that all works out here. But you can see as they're eating the mealwood, it's then turning to phosphorite. Right? Yes. So we can store phosphorite there, and then we'll store a manufacturing material, which is going to be, sorry, it's an industrial ingredient. It's going to be the reed fiber. So there we go. Speed them up, and then we'll just, oops, not store everything, just meal ice inside of these. Now that's only if you're actually going to eat the mealwood. You could potentially just not harvest that at all. You can see the Draco's reproduction rate is awfully slow. Look at that, change per cycle, 11%. But they live to the age of 150, so that's good. Yeah, you can see they spend a lot of time down here, and that's unfortunate because their scale growth Doesn't really happen when they're all the way down here. You can also see that they can have a really long run to get to the grooming station. So they can really be time consuming. You know, if they're all the way down here, they have to travel, you know, along this wall, along that wall, just to get to the grooming station. So the layout is actually really important when it comes to efficiency. So, there's plenty of things to optimize. Okay, let's disable harvest. I know you guys like it, but no. Oh, and this one got out. They made it out through the door. Alright, so this arrangement here, it's my own arrangement. And unfortunately, it isn't quite working. And it isn't working because I added that. So let me rework this a little bit. I think I got some good ideas. So let's see if I can realize this idea. Alright, so there's spots where the Dracos can kind of go to get to the food. See, they can transfer between this and that, so they can kind of jump around a little bit. See, they can jump across that. Interesting, okay. 94. Actually, if I just bring these in, brush a little bit of oxygen in down there, they can still get over to that door, and they're still trying to get over to that door. If you give a Draco the opportunity to escape, they will absolutely take it. So, what if you do this number? Look at that. Caught one already. What? No! Stay inside! Get back in there! I personally think they are attracted to doors. Look at this. That's my running theory. So what if you put doors over here? Nope. They got out again. There's only one way to do this, and that is with like islands and stuff. Unless we can find a way to keep them inside. I will figure this out. They will not be able to escape. Well, this was by accident, but is it working? Okay, so here's something that's interesting. The scale growth up here is actually quite a... Yeah, quit running. Okay, so here's something that's interesting. If you look at the scale growth per cycle, this guy that's up here in the hydrogen, it's at 13%. However, a wild Draco has a negative 9% debuff, so has a net of what should be 4%, but it comes up as 3. So yes, having a grooming station seems to make a big difference as far as your overall production is concerned. Okay, so I have a Glossy Drecko egg up here, so I can go ahead and incubate that. You see that its normal incubation rate is 3% per cycle, so that's pretty stinking slow. I'm just gonna set that for halfway in the day. There we go, get the nice buff. So Lullaby adds 13%, so now we're up to 17. And that stays on for the entire cycle. Sweet. It's still roughly about 6 cycles for one egg to hatch, so that's pretty huge. Let's just try our hand at egg cracking real quick. These are fairly big eggs. So what do we get out of it? 1 kilogram. Okay, so pretty normal. Nothing too fancy. So this is a different door arrangement. I have 2 ladders right here, so the dupes kind of run in across the ladders to go through the doors. Whereas this one is just blocked off right there. And then the mechanized airlock goes in and out. I think they should be able to escape through there, but we'll see. Huh, this seems to be working. Haha, look at them all. Look, they're trying to get out. But they can't. I may have foiled you, Dracos. Okay, so what I need to know is if any Dracos can actually get out of here. So, let's see here. We'll just put many in there. Is this a Draco-proof door? Is it? Man, it sure seems like it. Add more Dracos! Ha! Ha! Boom! Ain't no Dracos getting through there today. Hey, look, a little glossy Drecklet. Such violence. Oh, man. All right. Problem solved. Okay, so the Dracos couldn't get out, but the Dreklet definitely escaped through this door arrangement. Darn it. So, it seems like there's something to that. Nope, that one didn't work. Ah! Alright, well, I think I've learned something important thus far. It seems like... Stop! Stop running away! Up! That this door arrangement is... I was about to say Draco-proof, but... Let's be real. There's one in there, isn't there? Dupe, where you at? Well, okay, they get stuck in there, but then they drop down. I mean... That's better than escaping. Alright, so I think I need a version 3. Something that is just going to allow the Dracos to do what they need to do, to get the environment that they need, and also keep them from escaping. The fancy door is interesting, but I don't think it's really the right answer. Okay, so I'm going to try to make more of an island setup here. I think that's a little bit safer. So there we go. We get our mealwood inside of there. Nice. The Dracos can't jump 2 tiles. Haha. Or you better not. If you do, I'm going to turn that shearing station on maximum, and there may be no Draco left. Alright. So, here we go. We got that. We got an incubator because it's a good spot for it. We could probably do an automation battery thingamabobs in there. How big is the room? Way too big. How big is the room now? Still way too massive. Nope. Man, still no. Trying to make an island fit inside of here with like a 2-tile gap all the way around it? That isn't working. And neither is this door keeping the Dracos out. What? Okay, so there's got to be a more ingenious way to deal with them. Okay, so if we continue to run with the idea that there is some sort of floor, and that is where the food is, because that works well for oxygen. But then, we have 2 mechanized airlocks. Or, better yet, make a fake wall. Interesting. Okay, so the idea here is if I use some automation like this to a signal, can a Draco stay on it or not? All right, cooperate. Here we go, here we go. We're gonna run it nice and slow. Oh, we got one on there. We open the door up. Yeah! Ha! Ha ha! So when we do this, you see they can stand, then you open it up, and they won't climb on top of it, right? Turn it off. Now it isn't doing what I want it to do down here, but that's okay. Here's why. Here's why. You see, Dracos, in their ingenious attempts to get out of this area, they'll stage themselves up on this wall, and they'll be like, just waiting for the dupe to come in. Now, they can't stand on ladders, but dupes can stand on ladders. So you see where I'm going with this, right? What I'm going to use is a weight plate. Yeah! So when a dupe steps on that, dink, it's going to open up all of those pneumatic doors. Okay, correction. It's going to open up all the ones above it, because then otherwise my dupe wouldn't be able to get out. So, oop, oop. Aha! So like that. So there the door closes, door opens, And I'll just run it to that one as well. And then we can move the floor up to here. These dracos. Okay, so now we can move the floor down here. And just line it up with a bunch of farm tiles. So that's 16 mealwood plants. So that should be pretty good. And then right in this area, that's where we're going to have all of our stations and stuff. So shearing, grooming, drop off, and the incubator. Then this room will get narrower because we don't need it to be that big. How big is that room now? Here, get at it. Oh my gosh. All right, let's give that a try. All right, let's see if we can see this work up here. It seems like a nice, good arrangement thus far. Just want to get some Dracos over here on the wall to see if they can ever escape. No. But they also are not dropping down either. You see that? They're just like... I think that needs to have a little bit of a gate on it. So that'll stay active for just 1 second. That's all I want. Just 1 second. I don't know. See, I know this one got stuck. Poor guy's confined. So it's probably a good idea to let them fall down a little bit so they don't get confined. Yeah, they do drop. I mean, it's just hilarious. All right. I will outsmart you eventually, Dracos. Bring it on. So I haven't really gained any numbers yet. I'm just trying to figure out how to keep the Dracos in. Okay, so you can see this guy up there. Look at that scale growth. Oh, change per cycle, 33%. Whoa. See, that isn't long enough to knock him off. 2 seconds then. There's a magic number to this. Come on. Come on. Ha. 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 You fell. You tried to get out, but it didn't work out for you. Oh, man. Just like every game, there's just Dracos everywhere. Except for out here. Okay, so at this point, I think I have an arrangement that works pretty good. We'll stress test it here just for the sake of it, but what I want to see is just how much plastic I get out of a bunch of Glossy Dreckos. So this one here, this arrangement here seems to be able to handle 7 critters just fine. Just want to make sure that none of them can get out. All I'm using is a weight plate and a buffer gate that is 2 seconds long here. Just to kind of activate these doors. Not enough Dracos. Just run it at the normal fast speed. Make sure that we're not getting any sort of false positives here. Alright, so I think I have an arrangement that works pretty good. They seem to keep falling off the doors, and then they fall down here and have to kind of run all the way back. It seems to work pretty good. Despite all of the Dracos who are trying to get in. Nope. Nope, they can't. Ha 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 ha. Bring it on! I have 164 inside of here. Nope. Nope. They can't get out. They fall down every time. Take that, Dracos. You have been outsmarted for today. Poor Emily up there just like doesn't even know what to do. Just swarmed with Dracos. So the only reason these doors actually work like this is because of the recent patch that they put in place. That means if something is falling, it doesn't seem to get stopped by the pneumatic door. It'll just keep falling through it for whatever reason. Not 100% sure if that's completely accurate, but that's at least what I've observed. I would say that's a fairly decent test. Alright, so let's run this experiment here. I have all of these little Glossy Dreckos. They all need to be tamed. And then once that happens, I'll kind of clear it out, let it run for a while, and we'll see just how much plastic I'm getting out of this arrangement here. Well, I guess that's my cue. If you guys have not looked into it yet, the microcontrollers, Raspberry Pi, and Arduino from Make down here is going to be available for the next 3 days here, and I have been making good use of this as I've been trying to set up a testing rig which will measure the deflection and stress within 3D printed parts and plot it out into beautiful charts. Actually, it has been really quite useful. There's the sensors kit right over here which has really clear descriptions of how to hook things up, and I've actually set up some of these over the last week, and that's made me feel quite a bit more confident with what's going on there. Plus, there's also things like getting started in Arduino, which explain more about the code and whatnot. Matter of fact, I should be receiving my load cell today in the mail. Check this thing out. Had you asked me a week ago, I would have told you that I have absolutely no idea how to hook this up. However, one short week and a couple examples later, and you know what? I think I might just know how to make good use of this. I'm no expert just yet, not to the sweet graph stage, but I might be able to get a readout. Speaking of which, good timing. Oh, China, you wrapped this one tight. And there we are. See? That was good timing. If you use the link in the description below, you'll see that Brothgar is partnered with Humble. So you can pay what you want, you can choose where your money goes, and it will go to support the creators of the content, Humbles themselves, myself, and a non-profit organization called Makers Ed. Makers Ed is geared towards helping young people get into science and engineering through building sweet projects similar to the one that I'm working on. Thank you guys so much for your time and your support. Stay awesome, guys. All right, so it has been 26 cycles, and you can see that we have 3,450 kilograms of plastic. So on average, this farm is producing 132 kilograms of plastic each cycle. So to give you an idea, over 2 cycles, you can actually build that much plastic ladder. Not bad, considering, you know, you don't really have anything else to worry about. As per the phosphorite, we have 1,117 kilograms. So that's 42 kilograms of phosphorite per cycle. More than enough for some shine bugs or whatever else you want to use it for. Okay, another thing I've noticed inside of here is that there is a cramped condition that's going on here with the reproduction rate. And that is because these Dreclet eggs are left inside of here. We actually have to get rid of those. Yellow was actually mentioned that in his farm, really all he's using it is for plastic production, so they can be cramped. You don't really have to worry about their reproduction rate too much, because they're not really useful for omelets or meat or anything like that. They're really useful for plastic though, and that is not affected as far as their cramped status is. That just affects their reproduction rate. So having a separate farm where you're actually reducing the amount or hatching them in another room and then delivering them, I think is a good way to go. So there you have it. I think that was a good look here at Dracos, and I think I will investigate Glossy Dreckos quite a bit more in my next playthrough. Something like this is fairly easy to set up. You don't have to go this crazy with it, but, you know, there really isn't a whole lot involved in it. But this right here, that's nice. They can't get out. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your different arrangements that you guys have for Draco farms, as I want to make more use of these guys in the future, because that is a very nice way to get some plastic, you know, without having to process oil and all of that. At any rate, that's all I got time for today. If this looks like the channel for you, consider hitting that subscribe button. I do this stuff all the time. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar out.